anyone interested in coming along with us to Cuba? We have joined in with our collab group and we are making all sorts of wonderful dishes from Cuba. Comida Cubana is the hashtag, and make sure that you check out the various cooking content from our fellow collaborators. What is a Cuban flan, you ask? Well, it's a rich caramel custard dessert known for its smooth texture and sweet, slightly bitter caramel sauce. Now for the moment that you have been waiting for, we're going to be cooking a Cuban flan. Some of the ingredients, essentials you'll need for this recipe: I need some white granulated sugar, that's for this caramel sauce. Ramekin dishes, these are 6 ounce. And of course, your eggs. You don't want to forget the eggs. Okay, so we're gonna take 1 cup of granulated sugar, and this is what's gonna make our nice caramel sauce. Put that in here, and we're gonna have this on like about a medium heat. And we're gonna take 3 tablespoons of water. And you shouldn't have to do much stirring with this to make the caramel of any at all. And we're just gonna basically cook this until it turns a nice ember color, which that should take anywhere from about 8 to 12 minutes. Also, make sure that you have a pot of water boiling and your oven preheated at 350 degrees. The water is going to be for our water bath for later. And you shouldn't have to, but if you really need to keep it from crystallizing the sugar, you can just like brush the sides with like ablation brush with some water, just like that. If you notice sugar kind of going up the sides or starting to crystallize or harden, but you shouldn't have to too much. I'm just going to swirl this around a little bit. But you see how it's starting to turn color and it's turning into an amber color? Swooshing it around just a little bit. You notice it's turning that amber color. And you can see on the side of mine has kind of crystallized slightly. Just a little bit. You want to be sure to not cook this too long. And see how it turned into that nice amber color? And now we're going to go ahead. This was on the stove for about 10 minutes. Now once it gets to that color, we're going to take it and we're going to place it in the ramekin dishes quickly. And you want to move very quickly before it hardens. And we're just going to kind of give it a swirl, just a little bit up the sides. That way it's coating a little bit of the side of the ramekin dish. And we're going to do that for each one. Like I said, we're going to move quick because this hardens really fast. Now we're going to take 1 can of sweetened condensed milk. We're going to just pour that in here. We're going to take 1 can of evaporated milk. Put a little salt in here. We're going to add our vanilla extract. Now you can use vanilla paste, but I didn't have any on hand. So we're going to go with the vanilla extract. Now let's add our eggs. Careful not to get the eggshells in there. And we're just going to whisk this slowly so we don't incorporate too much air into it. And now we're going to just take us a strainer and we're going to just strain this through to make sure we get any egg yolk chunks or whatever it may be. So we have a nice and smooth dessert. And you see that? There's some egg yolks. And we're just going to pour it in. To our ramekin dishes. And you just want to take foil and cover each of these. Okay, so after we cover these before, we're going to take the hot boiling water and you're just going to pour this in here, and you want it to go at least halfway up the ramekin dishes. This is a water bath. And now we're going to place this in the oven. Be very careful. And you're just gonna bake this at 350 degrees for about 50 to 60 minutes. You want the center to be a little bit slightly jiggly. Okay, so after it is baked, and this was in here for an hour. And be very careful. You're just gonna carefully remove these and place them on a wire cooling rack. Remove the foil. And we're gonna let these cool at room temperature for about an hour. And it should be slightly jiggly, just like Jell-O in the center, as you can see. And after the flan has cooled for room temperature, about an hour, maybe a little more, depending. You want to place it in the fridge, typically with plastic wrap or an airtight container to keep it from drying out and absorbing odors. You don't want that to happen, because flan is best when it's chilled overnight to allow the custard to fully set. So you're gonna basically store this, cover it, store it overnight. So after the flan has cooled overnight, and if you can see, I covered it with plastic wrap, but the way I did it was we gently pressed the plastic wrap on the top layer of the flan. And this is an effective technique that helps prevent a rubbery skin from forming on top of your flan. You don't want that to happen. So we make sure that we press that in a little bit on the top layer of the surface while cooling the flan in the fridge. Now time for the reveal. I'm gonna unwrap it. It looks good so far. And we're gonna take a sharp knife and we're just gonna unmold it, just around the edges. So that way this helps loosen it to get it to come out. All right, here we go. I'm gonna take this, put my plate on top, and we're just gonna flip it. And voila, and there it is, your Cuban flan. All right, so if you enjoyed this video and enjoyed this recipe, we ask that you go ahead and give us a thumbs up and press that like button. Make sure you comment down below, are you gonna be trying this? Also, don't forget to ring our notification bell and check our latest video uploads.